Welcome to Decrypting Crypto. My name is Wasim, and today I'm going to be doing a review and a summary of one of my favorite all-time books. And yes, as you know from the title of this video, the book is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, this book was published in 1937 and it has sold over 70 million copies to date. This book is now in the public domain and therefore it's available for anybody to download on the internet for free. Now, why has this book been so successful? This book has been so successful because the 13 principles in this book can apply to anything in life. Anything you want to become successful in, you can use the principles in this book to achieve the result that you want. Whether that's in your finances, your relationship, your health, your career, your business, whatever aspect in your life that you want to become successful in, the principles in this book can be applied to that. Today, I'm going to cover maybe 2 or 3 different principles in the book that will give you an idea of what's in this book. This book has had a profound effect on my life and has changed my life. It's actually the first ever personal development book I've read, and it's a book I always keep on my desk. In fact, many of the world's largest personal development experts and personalities such as Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, just about any successful person that you speak to has always said that this is one of the first books that they always go back to and they always read over and over again. In fact, Bob Proctor built his whole international business around the book Think and Grow Rich. He would read a couple of pages of it every single day, and he would encourage all of his students and followers to do the same thing. It's a habit that I've taken on, and this is why I keep this book on my desk all the time. And you can see from my copy that I have so many notes and so many tabs on here that I refer back to all the time. And today I want to give you guys some of these things that I've learned from the book. So before I go into some of the principles of this book, I want to read out to you guys a quote from the book and from what Napoleon Hill says. And one of the things that Napoleon Hill says is the starting point of all achievement is desire. You keep this constantly in mind. Weak desire brings weak results, just as a small fire makes a small amount of hill. Napoleon Hill. This book is based on 13 principles that Napoleon Hill has discovered by interviewing and observing over 500 very, very successful people back in the early 1900s. These people include people like Henry Ford, Thomas A. Edison, and so many other very, very successful people like Carnegie and whatnot, very, very successful entrepreneurs who created generational wealth. He went out and spent 20 years interviewing these people and looking and asking them questions and how they got to where they got. And then he wrote a 13-volume series. And then this book is a summary of that 13-volume series, and it looks at 13 principles that these successful people have and the habits that they have. I want to review 3 today. And the first one is the use of auto-suggestion to build unshakable belief in yourself. Now, auto-suggestion, a lot of people say use the word affirmation these days, and it comes from telling yourself over and over again how much you believe in yourself and what is possible for you to gain. Now, as humans, we all have self-talk. Now, that self-talk can be positive or it can be negative. Now, the people that have a positive self-talk are the ones that generally go out and achieve the results that they want, because they keep telling themselves over and over again that they can achieve their goals, they can achieve their dreams, they can achieve whatever it is that they want, that it goes down to their unconscious or subconscious mind, as some people call it, that it becomes automatic in them that they have that self-belief. The power of auto-suggestion or affirmation is so powerful that many of the world's elite athletes, very, very successful entrepreneurs, very, very successful leaders around the world will always tell you that self-belief and affirmations and having that deep belief in yourself is the only thing that keeps them going. Because unfortunately, we live in a world where a lot of people around us may not be supportive of what we say. Some of them come from love and they want to protect us, and they tell us to do things like, don't go too much out of your comfort zone, don't go for things that are too hard to achieve because you're going to set yourself up for failure, and these other things. These people have a limited or a fixed mindset. What Napoleon Hill teaches us is to surround ourselves with people who are going to support our dreams, are going to support us and push us out of our comfort zone to be able to achieve those goals. And the first place to start is your own head. Because what you say to yourself repeatedly is what you are going to believe about yourself. And whatever you believe about yourself on the inside is what you are going to create in your own reality. So auto-suggestion over and over again goes down into your unconscious mind, that it becomes automatically aligned with your actions that leads you towards your goals. The second lesson from Think and Grow Rich is about being stubborn and always sticking to your decisions. Now, a lot of people could be hard-headed, and in fact, society tells us that we shouldn't be hard-headed, but there are times in life where we need to be hard-headed and we need to make a decision and stick to it. And what we've seen in this book, that many millionaires and very, very successful leaders, athletes, etc., they make snap decisions, and they make decisions fast, and they stick to those decisions. No matter what happens, when they put a goal in their head, they will stick to that decision. Now, that doesn't mean you don't change your approach. That doesn't mean that if you're failing, like if we look at the invention of the light bulb by Edison, he failed almost 10,000 times. And when he was asked about how did he feel about failing 10,000 times, his answer wasn't, I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. He was very, very hard-headed and very stubborn in wanting to invent the light bulb. He knew it could happen, and he kept on trying until he achieved it. Another example is Henry Ford, when he wanted to create the T-model car, and all the engineers at that time were saying to him it's impossible. And he would say to him, just keep working at it. Keep working on it. And every time he would come back to his engineers and say, no, this can't be done. The V8 engine cannot be done. The V8 engine cannot be done. It's like, no, it can be done. Keep working at it. He kept on pushing for the goal that he wanted to achieve, which is the Ford T model. Now, that car was in production for 19 years and sold millions and millions of that same car. Now, imagine had he given in to everybody's opinion and tried to create something else. Another example is Barnes and Edison. Barnes had failed previously in the gold rush, and he went out and he stopped 3 feet away from gold. And I'm not going to get in the whole story right now. The story's in the book, and I highly recommend you go and read it. But basically, he had $60,000 invested from family and friends, and he went out trying to find gold during the gold rush. And then, they found gold and over again. And then the gold stopped. And then they kept on digging, and then they actually gave up, 3 feet away from gold. And he learned from his lesson that he has to stick to his goals no matter what happens. So Barnes decided to go in partnership with Edison. He went and approached Edison. Edison gave him an opportunity to work as a janitor, and he stuck to it for 5 years, just because he knew that proximity is power. And he knew that as long as he was around Edison, an opportunity would arise for him to work with Edison in partnership. 5 years later, the opportunity arose with the dictaphone, which a lot of his salespeople did not want to sell and did not see the value in it. But Barnes said to Edison, I will sell this to you. And he started selling it. In fact, he started selling it so good that Edison gave him the national contract to sell this invention that nobody else wanted to sell. This is where the slogan came from, invented by Edison and installed by Barnes. Just to give you guys an idea how some of the stories in this book can affect your life. This one story had a very powerful effect in my mind, that when I came out of the pandemic, I had to sell my business and sell my family home. I was looking for my next opportunity. I saw an opportunity with Breakout Solutions, which is a company that I'm a part of now. And I knew that I wanted to be part of this industry, and I knew that I wanted to be part of this business. So remembering the story of Barnes and Edison, I approached Michael, who is the founder of the company, and I said to him, I want to work with you. He gave me the opportunity to work as a commission-only salesperson and prove myself, which is exactly what I did. I proved myself, and I knew that I wanted to get into business, and I made that clear to him from day one, and I was willing to prove myself. And in time, I became a partner in the business. So this is one example of how I used the lessons I learned from Think and Grow Rich, applied it to my life, and started to achieving some of the things that I'm achieving now. Now, the last thing that I'm going to cover in this book is the power of a mastermind. One of the things that Napoleon Hill says in this book is that when two minds come together, a third stronger mind or bigger mind is created, a mastermind, a third mastermind is created. So he talks about the power of masterminds. Now, we see a lot of this around us on the internet and social media, the power of having a mastermind. This is why we've created, our community here at Breakout Solutions, because we know that we're all working together for a definite goal. And even though we may be in different industries and so forth, but we have a goal that we all want to achieve. We know that through the power of the community and the power of the mastermind that we have, we can come up with ideas and things can come to us because we are having these discussions. So the third example I'm going to give to you guys today is having a mastermind. And you can create a mastermind with 2, 3, or 4 people, or even more than that. But the idea is that you meet on a regular basis. You discuss the challenges that you're facing. You discuss the obstacles that are in your way to achieving your goals, because sometimes, as the old saying goes, you cannot read the label from inside the jar. So therefore, if you've got a challenge or an obstacle that is stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve or getting to that next level, sometimes when somebody's looking from the outside, they might see from a different perspective and give you a different ideas or different solutions that you can go ahead and apply. So these are 3 examples from Think and Grow Rich, how they've affected my life and how they can help you achieve anything that you want to achieve. I highly recommend you get your hands on a copy of this book, read it at least once a year. And if you can read it every single day, read a couple of pages or a couple of paragraphs a day, it will definitely change your life and help you achieve what you want to achieve. The number 1 secret in reading any book is to apply the things that you've learned. So as you learn things in this book and it tells you to do something, go and do it. If it tells you to write your goals out, go write your goals out. If it tells you to do auto suggestion or affirmations, go and do the auto suggestion affirmations. The more you apply the knowledge you learn, the faster and easier you're going to find it to get to the goals that you want to achieve, the success that you deserve in your life. That's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.